Hey traders, Akil Stokes here, and welcome back to another episode of the Trading Coach Podcast. If you guys are brand new, first-time listeners, thank you for joining me. This is a trading-related podcast that I release each and every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, providing you some helpful hints on how to go from struggling trader to independent, consistently profitable trader, mainly by sharing stories that I've learned throughout my journey and kind of day-to-day lessons that I learn and that I teach the traders that I work with. You'll also hear some stories about entrepreneurship, motivation, empowerment, inspiration, all the other fun stuff that comes with being in a successful environment. Now, I must tell you this. This might have been my best weekend ever. Not only did I spend time with the family, have some fun this Saturday, checking out some food trucks and eating cupcakes with my son, gourmet cupcakes, I may add, with my son early Saturday morning, but it was a great sports weekend for me, and as the sports nerd I am, my mood is often driven off of how my sports teams do. Everton got a victory, right? A clean sheet for my Toffees. Dortmund got a nice comeback win. My Philadelphia Union, they drew. The Dallas Cowboys won this Sunday. Had a nice friendly bet with my buddy from Detroit, Roy. We do this every time they play, where it's the loser has to donate to the winner's charity. So I just sent Roy some information on what charity I would like him to make his donation to on behalf of me and my Dallas Cowboys. But most importantly, I got some sleep, right? Amazing, right? If you guys know me, you've been following me for a while, you know that I do not sleep that much. Mainly, I'm just an early bird. For me, sleeping in is 7 o'clock. My body is kind of just, I guess, used to waking up at 7 o'clock no matter what time I go to bed. But I've also got a 3-year-old son. I've got a 3-year-old and a 1-month-old now. But the wife and I really haven't gotten any sleep since the 3-year-old was born. So we just kind of accepted the fact that we don't need sleep. We'll get by without it. But today, I actually woke up at 8:45. It was amazing. Now, I don't know why. Maybe it was because I might have had a few beers the night before, right? I'm not a big drinker, especially nowadays, right? So I don't know when the last time I touched a beer was, but I had two, so maybe that allowed me to get a little better sleep, or maybe my body was just making up for all of the lost hours. But either way, I woke up feeling great. I had a to-do list that I wanted to get done. I said, you know what? I'm going to win today. I'm feeling good already. I'm fired up to be accomplished. And I thought my day couldn't get any better. And then it did, because the first thing that I heard when I woke up was a ping. And it was a message from Jason Greystone telling me that the article was published. Now, what article are you talking about? Well, we've known for some time that we were going to be featured in Forbes Magazine. Not an article written by ourselves, but the great trading psychologist and Dr. Brett Steenbarger, who is really a legend in the trading field, was doing really a research project on innovation in trading education. And Tier 1 Trading was one of the companies that he looked at because we're doing some pretty innovative stuff. And we didn't think the article was going to come out for a while, so it was surprised me at least that it came out today. So I got a chance to check it out this morning. It was a great interview with Jason Greystone, sharing some of the benefits that we use and that we practice here at Tier 1 Trading, and overall just a good article on how to become a consistently profitable trader. And we were sharing the article with a few of our traders on the chat this morning. Went onto the chat platform and said, hey guys, if you didn't see it already, make sure you check out the article. And I got an interesting comment from one of the traders that we work with. She said, Akil, I'm shocked by the stats in the first paragraph. I don't know why I'm shocked, because you guys mention this stuff frequently, but seeing it in writing out of different industries and different people, about how high the failure rates are, I find it interesting how learning to trade is completely different than any other industry, and why that is. And let me go back for a little bit and just read you kind of the first two paragraphs from the article. I'll put an attachment to the article here in the show notes. But the title of the article by Brett Steenbarger was Can Individual Traders Succeed in financial markets. And the first paragraph started off like this. Several months ago, I wrote a post for Forbes that asked the question, do you have what it takes to succeed in the financial markets? The article tackled several myths regarding to trading and success and reviewed outcome studies that I found success to be present, but quite rare. In a recent study, Brad Barber and colleagues studied all individual traders participating in the Taiwan stock market over a 14-year period. Interestingly, they plot a survival curve for traders and found that 75% of all participants quit after a 2-year period, and that 90%, you heard me right, guys, 90% are gone after 4 years, with poor performers significantly more likely to quit than their more successful counterparts. Over the period studied, the group of traders were unprofitable every year net of fees. They cite evidence that traders engage in more trading following profitable periods. They conclude that traders persist in pursuing profits not because of objective evidence of success, but because of overconfidence following wins. Sound familiar? As a psychologist working as a performance coach at trading firms, I have had a multi-year front seat to the successes and failures of traders. My interpretation of the dismissal success rate data is somewhat different from that of the research. In any elite performance field, whether it be golf, acting, chess, or Olympic sports, many are called and few are chosen. The proportion of participants that ultimately make a solid living from their performance is quite small. The important question pertains to the talent, skill, and development factors that differentiate the elite few from the others. In an insightful post, Mike Bellafiore, founder of a proprietary trading firm, observes that the success rate is indeed low and that it takes at least 6 to 8 months of dedicated effort just to get to the point of consistent profitability, and easily twice that to achieve elite levels of success. Having worked with traders at his firm, I can vouch that for a fact, and can also vouch for a fact that training increases the odds of success well above the dismissal level observed by researchers. So going back to the conversation, essentially we were talking about how we always hear these numbers, right? 90% of traders fail. Trading is so hard. And although we kind of hear it, we know it, I guess we kind of brush it off. And I don't know if that's a thing where it's like, where we assume that we could be successful if we think people are overreacting. But what I told the trader this morning is that I had the same experience. I came into an industry hearing 90% of traders fail and this and that and that. And, you know, it was overlooked because the underlying message, right, from the internet, not the actual successful traders, not people doing the real teaching and the real educating, but from just the internet, most of what you hear is the exact opposite. Most of what you hear is trading is a get-rich-quick scheme. You hear these people, you see them with their gold chains and their yachts and their Lamborghinis, how I made 100% a month, how I turned a $1,000 account into $1 million account in 10 months. You hear all of this stuff. And at the frequency that you hear all of the other stuff, it tends to make you kind of forget about the reality, right? The truth is kind of hidden under this big haystack of lies. And, nobody goes into trading thinking, hey, I'm going to be a failure. This is going to be really, really hard, right? Most of us get in there because we think it's a way to make money. And many of us think it's an easier way to make money, just like our first experiences with a casino, right? You do some research online, you read the rules of blackjack. I picked blackjack because blackjack has pretty clear and concise rules on what you should do if the dealer is showing this, if you have this. And you're like, I'm going to go in there and dominate the table. And then what happens? You go in there and you lose money. Trading is the same way, right? The reality is that it's very, 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 very tough, and most people will lose. However, the perception is that you're going to make a lot of money, because what do you hear about with casinos or lottery tickets? You always hear about the big winner, right? You always hear about the person that won the lottery and won the $50 million for the rest of their life, but you don't hear about how many dollars they spent or how many other people are going broke paying these $5 tickets every year. And it triggered a conversation where once I got into the industry, obviously I came in with that mindset. I learned the hard way that the reality of trading was the minority, right? The minority view that trading is hard, trading is difficult. It takes a massive amount of effort and time, right? Practicing to become successful. That changed my mindset. And what really changed my mindset even further was being on the educational side of things, right? Being a teacher is a gift and a curse, right? It's the gift is that I get to work with many traders, right? I get to experience traders from all around the world, which is awesome. I haven't traveled everywhere in the world yet, so it's an experience just talking with people from Africa, talking with people from the Netherlands, from Germany, from Australia, from New Zealand, right? And kind of getting to know them on more of a personal level and hear about their experience and culture. It's kind of like I'm there a little bit. That's pretty cool. But it's also cool that I get to see people achieve their dreams. I get to see people really learn and work and really change their life and have a small impact in that. And I say small impact because yes, I'm teaching them a skill. I'm holding them accountable. I'm walking them through it. But at the end of the day, I'm not sitting with them behind their desk at their computer making them do something, right? They have to do it on their own. So I'm kind of like a guide, but they're really doing the work here. That's why I say a small part. And that part's pretty cool. But on the flip side, right, on the other side, I get to see the massive failures. And for every one trader that I work with that goes on to be successful, for every one trader I work with that I can kind of ID off the bat that says, hey, this guy or this gal's, they've got what it takes. There's probably about 10 others that are the exact opposite. 10 others where I get a message and I'm like, man, this guy has failed. It's failure written all over it. This guy's got the exact wrong mindset. And, part of me hopes it changes. But, being in this industry for so long, I've been teaching for 8 years now. 8 years. Gosh, not 8 years. No, 7 years. 7 years teaching now. You kind of know when you know, and you understand that a lot of people are going to fail because a lot of people aren't willing to change their mindset. And that's kind of depressing because I always had the mindset that I can help change anyone. That was my gun-ho mindset at first. I can change the world. Anyone out there is fixable. And the truth is, anyone out there is fixable, but they have to be willing to make the change. And not everyone is willing to make the change. So you see a lot of failures. And as I've gone through the years, seeing failure after failure after failure, and the amount of failing traders that I speak to compared to the amount of traders that become successful, those numbers really are realistic. And I have no problem. I have full confidence saying, 90% of traders just won't make it. I don't think 90% will fail. Maybe about 70% will fail, but there's going to be a few that are kind of just stuck in the middle. 90% of traders won't find success. Maybe that's a better way of putting it. And the trader this morning was saying, it's weird because being in this environment, I feel like it's the exact opposite. And I was like, bingo, that is the point, right? That is the point. Over my 7 years of teaching, right? And I've learned from one of the greatest teachers out there, in my opinion. My trading mentor is Jason Stapleton. He was also my trading coach mentor as well. He's the one that introduced me to the industry and really taught me how to teach people, him along with Todd Brown. And over the years, I've really found my own teaching style, and I've made it my goal to really change the mindset, right? If you want to change the trader, you have to start with changing the mindset. And when we branched off and did our own thing in 2018, when we started Tier 1 trading, our goal was to really bring some innovation, right? Bring something new to the educational side of trading, because it's one thing to preach the right message, right? We can always teach the same stuff, right? To a certain extent, there's a right and a wrong out there to trading. And there's no secrets to what that right or wrong is, right? It's the information is out there. You can gain information on any single trading strategy or system or technique or setup out there. Just browse the internet long enough. But that's not enough to be successful. Just knowing the information isn't enough to be successful. In order to be successful, you have to put yourself in a successful environment. And I learned this lesson from other ventures and other businesses that I have, right? I've had a lot of failed businesses, or a lot of failed partnerships, I should say, where I tried to partner with the wrong people. I surrounded myself with people that weren't motivated, that really weren't pushing me in the right direction. And as a result, I kind of settled. I kind of lost motivation as well. And when you lose motivation, especially in the startup years of your new business, you're not going to be successful. You're going to fail. And really, when I started kind of really squeezing my circle, right? Squeezing and limiting the amount of people that I surround myself with, and really only surrounding myself around positive people, successful people, people that are better than me, right? In many ways. That's when I started being more successful, because it really became a game of motivation, right? Where we would motivate each other, right? I'd do one thing and my partner would be like, okay, I see what you're doing. You're working real hard. I'm going to work even harder at this aspect. And then my partner does something and I just, I do something more. And it's a game where we keep trying to one up each other each and every day. And we keep pushing ourselves in the right direction. So I've always known that surrounding yourself with successful people is the best way to earn success. And if you ever listen to my good friend and my trading partner, business partner, Jason Greystone, speak as well, he tells you the same thing. He wants to go out there and find people that are more achieved than him, right? That have achieved more than him. He wants to go out there and find our industry leaders and be around them, because he knows that they have achieved something that he has yet to achieve. And if he can sponge and learn and be inspired by them, it's just going to make him better. And then it's just going to make the people that he impacts better as well. So as we were starting up the business, we talked about this. We said, hey, our content is good, right? We're teaching the right stuff. We're teaching the right philosophy. We're teaching it the right way. We both believe that we're very good coaches. We're very good teachers, meaning we have the ability to take concepts and take terms and relate them to an individual trader. And that means, teaching it different ways to different people, because everyone learns differently. But the missing piece is the accountability. The missing piece is the community. We have to have some way to develop a community and really a culture of success. And it seems easy, right? You just start a chat forum, right? Just, do something like that. But the problem is the industry is so toxic. People are so toxic, right? Remember, 90% of people out there are preaching the wrong message, right? There's so many people out there that are bringing the wrong type of energy that if you just were to open a public forum, the good information is going to be overshadowed by the bad information. And we did that before. I had a very successful Facebook group that unfortunately imploded because too many bad apples ruined the awesome information that was being spread there. And we were really contemplating how to do this for a while, and really going back and forth on should we have this network? Should we develop this community of traders? And there were pros and cons all the time. We kept getting stuck. And at the end of the day, here's what we decided. We said, you know what? We have to put trust in the type of person, not trader, right? Doesn't matter if you're good or bad. We have to put trust in the type of person that we deal with. And fortunately for us, over the years, and going back to Trade Empowered, right? Over the years, we've developed a reputation where you either hate us or love us, because we're going to give it to you straight. I'm going to give it to you straight. Jason Greystone's going to give it to you straight. We all know Jason Stapleton gives it to you straight. And when you do that, you really separate your audience. The people that want to be sold a dream, they're going to hate you and ignore you because you're not giving them what they want. You're not telling them it's easy and they can do it and they can start up a $50 account and live life as a full-time trader in a year or so, right? We're not telling them that. And they usually branch off. And the type of people that stay are the ones that take our message, agree with our message. They're okay with the journey. They're okay putting in the work and the effort because they know that, well, that's what it takes to be successful. And we decided to trust the tribe that we've built over the years, trust the following that we have, and trust that if we were able to open up a community, a network of traders, right, without us being police 24 hours a day on the chat forum, because who wants to do that, that our traders would have high enough character to be able to police themselves, to continue to preach the message that we've been preaching and not allow any bad apples to ruin the bunch. And it was a big leap of faith doing that. It was tough, to be honest with you. We didn't know if it was going to work or not. But that's trading. That's entrepreneurship. That's success. That's being great at anything. You have to trust the work that you've put in. You have to trust yourself. And you've got to jump off that cliff and trust that you'll find a way to land. And as I talked to you guys now in September, right? Almost October, actually. 10 months after we started Tier 1 trading, we couldn't imagine it going any better. Our core group of traders, they do a great job of policing the network, spreading the message. We offer trial memberships, so every once in a while we have some newer traders that come in, they check it out. And if any trader comes in with kind of the wrong attitude, they're checked right away. And when I say checked, I mean in a respectful basis. It's not like, hey, you idiot, get out of here. It's like, hey, that's all good, but let me share you my experience. Let me show you how the reality is. And then we filter out people that are able to accept that and say, okay, I didn't know that. And they're willing to work on it. They stay in, and the ones that don't want to hear it, they immediately move, right? Because they don't want to be that person, because no one cares about them saying, oh yeah, this is how many pips I made today, right? No one cares about that here. We care about the process. And it's been extraordinary. And recently when Jason Greystone met with some of our trading legends, right? Mike Bellafiore's, the Adam Grimes, right? The Brett Steenbargers, right? And explained to them what we're doing. And they had an idea too. We were actually pretty shocked to know, because we look up to all these individuals, right? I am always a student, and these are three individuals that I always look up to. We were shocked to know that, or to find out that they're very informed with what we're doing. They know exactly how we're teaching, how we're training. And many of them actually look up to the way that we've developed our educational programs. So to really have the thumbs up and the pat on the back from those guys saying that, hey, you guys are doing it the way that it needs to be done is massive. And it just gives us more confidence, right? Not that we lack confidence, but you can always, it's always good to have confirmation, whether it's in the market, whether it's in business, and to know that we're ahead of the curve. Because honestly, we don't really pay attention to what other trading educators are doing out there. Who knows? But to know that we're ahead of the curve, and know that we're doing things the right way, and to see the success rate of traders that are coming through our program in comparison to the normal numbers, it's amazing. And that's what I told Naomi this morning. I said, the reason those numbers seem like a shock to you is because you're in an environment where the culture is success. The expectation is that you're going to be successful. The expectation whenever we see a trader come on the platform isn't going to be, well, 1 out of every 10 of you is going to make it. No, we expect everyone to be successful. And we hold everyone accountable. And our network and our community holds each other accountable. And when you're in an environment like that on a daily basis, when you're being checked and when you're being motivated, how can you not be successful? How? You have to be. So here's what I encourage you guys to do. I know some of you listen, a lot of you guys listening to this, you aren't involved with us on the platform. And this isn't a plug coming. I'm not saying, hey, give us your money, get involved. No, but do this. We are very present on social media, on the Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. Become part of the tribe. Many of the traders that we work with follow us on these social media outlets as well. Become part of the tribe. Feel free to use us. Feel free to use our community. I know a lot of us share motivational and inspirational tweets and words and quotes every day. Feel free to partake in that. Say, hey guys, here's a great quote that I heard this morning. Just thought it was a good way to start your day. But involve yourself. Start surrounding yourself by positive people. Start surrounding yourself with other successful people. And I guarantee that you're going to start to see a little bit more success in what you're doing as well. And all I ask for you after that is to pay it forward. Don't hog that success to yourself. Take that success, take that motivation, that inspiration, and give it to someone else. And now your network is growing. And this circle just becomes bigger and bigger. And hopefully one day, we're not the minority. Hopefully one day in the future, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, the idea of what it takes to be successful in trading has switched. No longer are the majority of voices out there saying it's a get-rich-quick scheme. You don't need any practice. You can become a millionaire overnight. Hopefully, the majority message is, hey, it takes a massive amount of effort and hard work to be successful, but it is doable by each and everybody. And if we can change that message and change the way people think, we will start changing the way people act. And when we can change the way people act, we're going to change that success rate for the better. Because people that aren't willing to put in that work, they won't try and they won't fail. And they will keep their hard-earned money and they'll find something else that they love, something else that they're passionate about, and they can use it to pursue their dreams in that. And people that are passionate about trading, that do want to be successful, they'll know exactly what it takes to earn that success, and they'll know exactly who they need to surround themselves in order to keep themselves motivated. And that's how we all win.